Before we begin, please hit a like and subscribe.
Dangerous secrets, government cover-ups, life-threatening events. These are the secrets hidden for decades. Here's what we found in the DC files. Ancient humans, the Neanderthals. Picture this, you're there, 45,000 years ago. Europe is a frozen wilderness of heaping stone, pine, and endless powerful winds. Cold air burns your lungs, and the snow swallows sound. Night feels longer than day. Let's put ourselves in their shoes, the shoes of the Homo sapiens. Tall, lean, but fragile compared to the world around you. Your people followed herds north, believing that the land ahead, might finally belong to you. But the silence of this place carries a warning, because you're not alone. Somewhere beyond the reach of your fire light, another kind of human walks the same frozen ground. Human, but different. Stronger. Their bodies are built for harsher earth environments. Their bones are thicker than ours. Their muscles heavier. Their chest is wide enough to draw breath in air that would freeze our own. They move thorough through the cold that would end us in hours. They hunt massive ice animals at a distance so close that survival depends on strength alone. For thousands of years, they have belonged to this world more completely than we ever could. And in this ancient darkness, if fear exists, it isn't coming from them. It belongs to you. These are the Neanderthals. Today, they are often imagined as primitive or simple. But the ground beneath Europe and Western Asia tells a much different story. Their tools were deliberate, their hunts coordinated, their dead sometimes buried with care and not brutality. They endured climates that push life itself toward extinction. This was not weakness. It was mastery of a brutal world, a species that even Stone Age predators would keep one eye open. And yet, something changed, because the strongest humans who ever lived are now all gone, extinct. And the fragile newcomers, which is Homo sapiens, which is us, are the only thing remains. Across ancient soil and fractured bones, signs of a shifting earth began to appear, violent swaying in climates, advancing ice, retreating forests, new animals appearing and others vanishing. Silence spreading where life once moved freely. Survival is no longer about strength alone. It becomes a question of adaptability, cooperation, and change. Some scientists believe these environmental shifts slowly reduced the Neanderthals' populations until small groups became isolated and unable to recover. Others believe expanding Homo sapien communities place quiet pressure on already limited resources. There is evidence that the two kinds of humans met, lived near one another, and had children, which means the line between them and us was never really cut and clear. It started with whispers in the wind, strange howls that weren't wolf or bear, And then the Neanderthals came, hawking, shadows bursting from the trees, broader than our people, with brows like cliffs and eyes burning with primal fury. They were bloodthirsty beasts, slobbering with an overpowering hunger that twists their faces into snarls. No words, no mercy, just raw cannibalistic rage. As they descended like a storm, our kin fought and fought hard, their stone spears splintering against thick hides. But the Neanderthals were stronger, faster, and their brutality was rapid. Their crippled warriors first smashing limbs with clubs that cracked bone like dry twigs. Screams, feasting right there amid the chaos, blood staining the ground. The village burned, huts collapsing. In the flames, the elders staggered where they stood, their bodies left mangled and lifeless. And the women dragged away, kicking, wailing, and screaming into the underbush, vanishing into the horror of their lair. By nightfall, silence reigned over the ruins, save for the distant echoes of savage victory. One alone escaped, hiding in the reeds, heart pounding with terror. This is an encounter with the Neanderthal species. Parts of them still exist hidden inside our DNA, a generic memory carried across tens of thousands of years. But it didn't last forever. Within a few thousand years, the Neanderthals disappeared from the record. No final battle, only a generation fading away, like footprints erased from the snow. An entire kind of human gone, and the question that remains is not only how they vanished, it's why we did not. Because by many physical measures, they were better suited for this world as it existed back then. Stronger bodies, greater endurance, lives shaped by hardship. We can barely imagine if survival belonged only to the strong, history should have ended with them, not us. But survival chose something else. It chose communication, cooperation, imagination. It chose intelligence. The fragile, unpredictable mind of Homo sapiens, the very traits that once made us weak, may have become the reason we endured. And that truth carries very quietly and unseen, because extinction did not end the Neanderthals. It was written into the history of life itself. Species rise, species fall. Dominance is never permanent. Even the strongest evolutionary disappear when the world changes faster than they can. Which leads to the question that we may be far closer to that present than we might think or admit. If a stronger kind of human once walked this earth and vanished, what does that mean for us? Today we reshape climates, alter ecosystems, and rewrite the code of life itself. We appear unstoppable, permanent, certain of our future, but so perhaps did the Neanderthal. Somewhere beneath ancient grounds lie the remains of beings who could not imagine a world without themselves. A world where their fires would never go cold, where their voice would never fall silent, where another kind of human would inherit everything they once knew and had. And now, across thousands of generations, we tell ourselves this story as if the ending were invisible, as if survival were destiny, as if disappearance could never happen to us. But history promises no permanence, only change. The Neanderthal were not monsters per se. They were stronger than us, better built for the Earth's environment to exist better than us, and still, they are gone. Some details of the distant past remains uncertain. Fragments of bones, traces of tools, stories shaped by imagination. As much as evidence that we have uncovered out of the darkness, we may never fully prove what actually happened, but the mystery remains. When the world changes again, who will remain? Well, that's the story. And here at the Dark Cabinet Files, we don't write the book, we just read the pages. But the real question is, what do you believe?
The information given has not been proven fact or fiction. But for more information on the Dark Cabinet Files, please leave a like and subscribe.